And welcome to this class that's focusing on chakra, lighting up the chakras, the energy centers in the body, to give us a full tour internally and brighten everything up and polish up that energy for our day or evening, depending on where you are. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, thank you for subscribing. So let's come to a brief seated position before we come into recline breath. And you can take any seated position if that's cross-legged or kneeling. Oh, and I also want to mention I have two lovely students in the room, in the physical room with me today. Welcome. Anything that we do today that you want to be taking an alternate to be more comfortable, please do so. So we'll get started when seated. You can sit in a kneeling like I am, or you can take a cross-legged, or you can even lie down or sit on a chair, whatever you need. This is your practice. Everything is just a suggestion. So take the palms to the thighs and we'll come into the room, even our virtual room. Just come into the room where you are, wherever you are on this planet. Find your anchor. So we'll take our sits bones as the anchor to begin with. And just feel the breath moving in into the body and out of the body. Feel free to close the eyes to cut out visual distractions so that you can go inward and begin to witness the breath, which is that entry point into yogic breath, is to simply play witness first. Feeling that flow of new energy in, and then the cleansing out, exhale out. Notice the quality of your breath that you're bringing today, whether it's a warm breath, cool breath, shallow, fluttery, calm. Observe. Feel free to enjoy the sound of your own breath in your ears. Maybe notice with each exhale, the shoulders roll away from the ears and the thighs just settle in a little bit more, and we have that anchor of the sits bone again. We'll revisit this more of the seated pose later, but right now just observe the breath. 3 more rounds. So right now we, as always, we have these energy centers in yogic tradition, have assigned these energy centers throughout our torso. And here they're in a vertical position, so they travel in correspondence with the spine and the skull. And we'll get into those in a reclined position in a moment, but again, continue that witnessing breath. 2 more rounds. Inhale and exhale. The breath is our companion for the practice, so we want to greet it and always use it as our guide. Feel free to flutter your eyes open and then come to a reclined position on the mat. We'll really kind of drape the spine down so we can appreciate those energy centers. Feel free to take the feet to the bottom of the mat. Use your hands to help you ease down to the mat, and the back of the skull comes onto the mat. And keep the knees bent if you'd like, or bring the knees together and take the feet a little bit wider apart. We'll take the right hand over the sternum or the heart space and the left hand over the belly. Again, feel free to close your eyes. This is sort of your spa moment to begin with, to set an intention for your practice today and the outcome that you'd like to walk away with. Notice the breath filling your hand, that left hand on the belly, and then filling that hand at the heart. And then maybe you feel it all the way up to the collarbone, so you can give yourself that massage. Exhale, feel the shoulders drop towards the earth. And now we'll enter that conscious breath, yogic breath portion of our class. And today I'd like to just light up the centers, those energy centers of the body. So we've got the root chakra at the base. So as I name them, feel free to close the eyes and just travel in your mind's eye to these areas of the body that they correspond with, just to shed some light and awareness of what that energy flow is like. So we'll begin as we breathe in. Let's breathe all the way down to the root. So that's the Muladhara, the root chakra. It has a red light. We're kind of making a string of lights here. And exhale, and then inhale next to Svadhisthana. And that's just under the navel. That's orange. Little rainbow here, beautiful rainbow tradition here, right into our absorbing those beautiful colors into the body. And then we've got the solar plexus, so above the navel, Manipura, yellow light. And these energy centers are in front of the spine, so they sort of bring this light into the whole spectrum of the area around that portion, around that landmark on the body. And the next inhale, come up to the heart energy, a green light shining in all directions, powerful center, Anahata. And then the throat chakra, Vishuddhi, which is a blue, lighter blue. And allow your next breath to take that tour up to the third eye, Ajna, which is an indigo. So that third eye, we carry a lot of that mental energy, and yet all-seeing energy as well. It can become cluttered often with our day-to-day mental thoughts. So we'll see if we can give some energy and oxygenation to that third eye as well. Indigo color, lighting up our wisdom. And then finally to the crown, the top of the head, Sahasrara, beautiful purple light, connecting us to what's above and what's beyond us and how we connect to that beyond. So we've got that rainbow. So on the next inhale, see if you can just light up that red, orange, all the way from the bottom, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, all the way to the top. And then exhale, release tension. Our practice today will visit those centers as well. And just a little moment of breathing here as well. I'm just going to let you know that I had a little back spasm the other day, so I will be doing a pretty careful practice myself. May suggest some things that you do that I don't do. Just letting you know. All right, light up those neon lights again, one more time through the breath. Feel that brightness through the spine, through the lengthening on your inhale, from the root to the crown of the head. And exhale, see if you can release more tension. Connecting our mind, body, and spirit through this amazing column of energy through our strong core. And then roll over when you're ready onto your right side. Use your hands and we'll sit up again. Head is the last to rise. Take a blanket and sit on the blanket, using, again, finding that anchor of the sits bones. Rub the hands together when you find your seat. And make sure they get a little warmer. And place those warm hands at the base of the spine, at the lumbar spine. See if you notice that there's a curve in the low back. So if it's flat, then you want to make sure you sit up a little higher on that blanket so you can raise up the pelvis and allow a nice natural curve, therapeutic for the spine, just allowing that curve. And then drop the hands down to the floor, and we'll take spider hands. So their fingertips are those prongs, the root system into the earth, connecting our root at the base of the pelvis, also just adding some support there, some tendrils that will connect us to the center of the earth, where we could all meet if we're all on those different points of the planet. If we just energetically send that out to each other through the center of the earth, give a little hello there. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, find your root again. Beautiful. Take the palms up toward the sky. So already feeling that opening through the collarbones. Inhale. Let's reach the arms above the head in prayer position ourselves up there. Great. And then see if you can use your side bodies, the side muscles, to reach yourself taller rather than reaching up through your arms. Reach up with the side bodies long, and then drop the shoulders away from the ears on your exhale. So feel that release of tension there. And then we'll just sway side to side here, using the opposite hip as your anchor. Inhaling up, exhaling down. A few rotations here, keeping the gaze soft and forward. Pressing the hands together so we really can connect, again, that higher crown chakra up to those hands. And then come back to center, reach up again. Inhale, exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears again, and then bend the elbows and take the hands in the prayer position about 1/2 inch above your head, above that crown. So you can feel already this energy of your hands above your head. Feel that light, that purple light up there above the head. Beautiful white light, even up above us, right? Press the hands together and then see if you can, on an inhale, grow your head closer to your hands. So you're going to grow 1/2 inch taller. Nice. And then clasp the hands together, bring them to the base of the spine, cup the base of the spine, base of the spine. That's not what I meant. The base of the skull, the top of the spine. And just cup those hands and lift up slightly, ever so slightly, not pulling, but just supporting that base of the neck and noticing that freedom you create in that neck space when you do that. Inhale. Exhale, and we'll guide our chin over towards the right. Come back through center, easy with the breath, lighting up the spine. Again, still aware of that nice column of beautiful colorful energy along the spine. Let's turn to the left. Back to center, and we'll guide our gaze up towards the heavens. Maybe a slight back bend in that upper back, and then look down. You can guide the head down. So we're tucking the chin into the jugular notch, and the elbows are coming together, meeting each other. Maybe not totally meeting each other, but just coming a little closer for a greeting there. And then open up the elbows like a nice butterfly wings. Inhale and exhale. Let's close them down as we look down at our heart, that beautiful green light. Pulling energy into that throat chakra as well. Inhale, exhale. Let together. Nice, keeping it easy. Beautiful. And then sweep those arms out to a nice long T, wingspan. Feel your full wingspan. Inhale, the shoulders up to the ears. Drop them down. Excellent. So if you're in cross-legged position and you want to switch the crossover legs at any time, you can do that. Let's take the thumbs towards the back of the room. Feel the rotation through the shoulders here, gliding, and then down, palms down, and up and down. Beautiful. Now let's take our hands to cactus. Take the thumbs behind you, pinkies up. And then we'll take the thumbs back. So notice as you do this, the heart can shine a little brighter. You can look up at the heavens again. Exhale, let's take the palms forward and hang down those forearms like laundry on a line. And then back up again. And the thumbs going back. And take that same rotation down. Hang it down. And one more time, magic 3. Rotate, rotate. Beautiful. Now let's take ourselves back up to cactus and take the thumbs behind you. And now we're going to close the forearms like a curtain in front of the body. Press the pinkies together and the elbows. Look at the elbow creases in front of that heart space, and then see if you can bring the elbow creases to the third eye chakra. So in between the eyebrows. When you've reached any kind of limit, just open them up like a beautiful curtain, and then just guide those elbows towards the ribs, then close them together. Inhale, watch those elbow creases come up towards the third eye again. Release with the breath. One more time. And up. Beautiful. Oh, great. So now let's take those hands like bird wings. So we're going to interlink the thumbs and just place them on the heart. Connect to our breath again. Filling the belly. Filling those hands at the heart space. Exhaling, release. Beautiful. Now let's unravel those hands and take the middle finger to the third eye. Let's just massage the third eye so we can get that sense of awareness, that all-seeing, contemplative space in our existence. And then slide those fingers across the eyebrows until they meet the temples. And then take circles at the temple backwards. Inhale, and then exhale, change the circle directions forward, waking up our sinus systems, clarifying things. Maybe the jaw loosens here. That's super therapeutic. And let's do our eagle arms. Let's take a full wingspan out. Inhale, exhale, right arm under left. Press back of the hands together or the palms, and slide the elbows over towards the right shoulder, staying in eagle arms. And then come back through center, exhale to the other side. And then come back to center. And from here, let's take that lovely gaze upward toward a blue sky or a cloudy sky. Inhale, exhale, draw a line down that chakra center, that nice column of the body towards the navel, elbows towards those center chakras, and bow down, curling the spine, opening up along the rhomboid. So we're really rounding, but more with a more purposeful round than hunching in front of our computer. Back up, inhale. And then sweep those wingspan arms out and left under right this time. Take those elbows to shoulder height and we'll slide across to the left elbow. The left shoulder, goodness. And look, you can look over the shoulder as well when you get there. And then slide through the center, elbows to the right shoulder. And then look over. Easy with the neck, no force. Come back to center. Inhale, looking up towards our eagle sphere up there in the skies. Imagine seeing one of those graceful creatures. And then come on, draw that line down towards the middle of the body, toward our Manipura, that solar plexus, navel area, and then down Svadhisthana, below the navel. And come on back up, sweep the arms and just shake that out. Notice the freedom you've created all through your shoulders. And then we're going to switch to our all fours. So we want a tabletop. So we definitely want to cushion the knees in this position. And if you have a blanket or two, you could place that 3/4 of the way down the mat. And I've suggested this before, but a great way to protect the kneecaps. Yeah, you might want to make that thicker. Do you want another one? Sure. This is my welcome Laura to my class and my visitor from afar. So you can take the shins to the blanket and your kneecaps are going to be over the edge of the blanket. So you're not having any contact. Your kneecaps can be protected from the bottom of the mat just by kind of draping them over. And you want the hips above the knees there, and then the wrists below the shoulders. So let's take a nice neutral all fours, strengthening through our all fours and just noticing the neutral spine. We want that curve that we were warming up earlier. We want that curve in the low back. So navel is tucking slightly towards the spine, but not curling so far forward, so much that you take the curve out of that. And then a nice, so here are the chakras lined up in this horizontal sphere and we're looking down, right? So just imagine that light, breathe into that root all the way down, and then up the navel and up to the heart, throat, crown of the head. Exhale it out, using the abdominals to really cleanse that area. So you're really bringing in a full breath on the next one. And then use your abdominals to flush it out, full cleanse. Beautiful. And now bring the forearms down to the mat. And we're taking that same alignment. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders, palms down, spread the fingers, pressing down through the fingertips. And as you're here, we have this opportunity to really get into the back of the heart and the front of the heart together. So we're going to stay, this is sort of a tabletop with forearms, right? So we're going to inhale and separate the shoulder blades and bring the back of the heart up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bring the shoulder blades together, squeeze them like you're squeezing a pencil there, and then your heart will melt towards the earth. Inhale, up towards the sky. So we're connecting the back of our heart with that beautiful sky energy, and then melting in towards that gravity of the earth, squeezing the shoulder blades together. A wonderful way to unround your back and to be able to stretch those rhomboids. Just repeat with your breath. Inhale and exhale. So when you slowly, methodically go through this, you can really get into some intricate spots that maybe wouldn't have been in your awareness before. Plus, we're cleansing out that flow along the spine. So those energy centers can really thrive more. Exhale, let's come together and we'll find a neutrality here. So just bring your shoulders to a neutral place. The shoulder blades to a neutral place. And now we'll take a cat-cow here in our forearm plank. So we're going to curl the tailbone under. Now we're doing that curling up through the entire spine. Tuck the navel in towards the spine. And we're going to rise up through the back of the spine towards the sky and drop the head. Look at your knees or tuck it into your chin, really curling in. Exhale, let's take the tailbone up towards the sky and roll on up. That beautiful rainbow of energies, and back up and look up at the end. So you bring the skull energy into it. And now we're going to tuck back into cat, using those forearms as a stronger anchor from which to really undulate our spine. So tuck in, exhale it back into cat. Using the breath to brighten, polish, light up the energies with new, everything new. Exhale out what you don't need. Beautiful. And then slide it back to child's when you're comfortable, or if you're not comfortable in child's, you can roll over onto your back and hug your knees. But let's bring that contemplation point, the forehead, the third eye down to the mat. Drape the arms next to the ears, reaching out with your fingertips. See if you can tent up your fingertips and just that spider hands again and pull back slightly energetically, and just notice the opening across the shoulders, and then place the palms on an exhale back down on the mat, lengthening our spine. And then rock the head side to side. So you're giving your forehead a little massage here. And now, after rocking the forehead, let's begin to rock the entire spine, side to side. So you've got that nice long column, and we're just rocking gently, seeing if we can wake up some parts of that spine that maybe have a little stagnation. Use your breath as your music, ever so gently.
And if you're on the floor on your back, you can just roll back and forth on the side. And if you're in child's, slide the hips side to side. So we get into some hip flexors there as well. Great. Wonderful. Now let's curl up through a traditional cat pose. We'll come up to our all fours with hands down. And then we'll take the hands a little forward into knee plank. So I'm not going to spend too much time here because I have that little bit of injury in my back right now. But come in and see if you can line up that root chakra, the tailbone, all the way up with the crown of the head. So the sacrum at the base of the spine is lined up with the back of the skull. And you've got your navel toning in, just feel that strength. If you want to come up into a full plank, you can do that as well. And then curl back into child's pose. And we'll just take a slight little teeny tiny flow here, where we inhale up through cat into knee plank. Find that long line. And then curl back into child. The movement marries the breath. Back into plank through your inhale. Find the power. And then come on back to child's. Beautiful. And we'll inhale up again and see if we can get into that thoracic spine again. I had the theme the other day. So come on up to all fours and take the right arm out to the side. We're going to do twisted cat. So look up at your right hand. Just feel the strength of your arm holding that up. Plug into that shoulder so you bring the shoulder towards the body. Exhale, let's watch the right hand as it threads under the left armpit and bring your right ear down to the mat. So you have a few choices here for your hand. You can just take the left hand in front of the face and just use that anchor again. And we're wringing out the spine here in a twist. So we're just using the arms as our propellers into this lovely twist. However, let's check in and see if the hips have tried. Maybe the left hip has tried to slide towards your elbow. Inhale and exhale and see if you can slide that left hip back a little bit. Flip your right hand up and down. And as you exhale again, let's see if we can walk the fingertips up to a 12 o'clock position above that crown chakra, above the crown of the head, or not. If that's hard for your shoulder, you don't have to take that position. Inhale. Exhale, and then walk that hand back in front of the face. Press down through the left hand as you unwind. Finding the base with your right hand again, another anchor. We're going to lift up the left hand and watch that left hand reaching long in the diagonal, feeling your strength, finding the power, keeping the stability on the floor as you watch the left hand thread under the right, left ear down. Watch your right hand as it presses into the mat. Now find your right hip with your mind's eye and see if you can bring it back a little bit away from your elbow, that right elbow. Flip the left hand up and down. Palm down, palm up. And on your next inhale, see if you can walk the right fingertips up towards the top of the mat or just stay in that nice anchored position there. But if you do walk them up, you can see if you can really lengthen on your right side, feed the spine with your breath. The spine is always hungry for oxygen. Light it up. And then we'll walk the fingertips back on the right hand. Press down, let's untwist our cat here. Back to all fours. And now we're going to come up into our down dog, taking our time. So we're going to curl the toes under, walk the hands out a few inches, and you can, afterwards, we'll move those props aside. curl the toes under, and then lift those knees off the mat, giving them that relief from that pressure. And find the index fingers pointing towards the top of the mat. And you can bend the knees, come to the tiptoes, and bring the ribs towards the thighs. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Settle in and just notice that. Rainbow lights across up the spine. In that diagonal. Now pedal the feet. So bring the right heel down and then up, and the left heel down and then up. Use the energy of the arms just kind of magnetizing together to really keep the strength in your shoulders so you're not jamming into the wrists. Release that stress, any stress in the face. And then come back up to even tiptoes. Bring the ribs towards the thighs. And then see if you can bring the heels towards the earth a little bit more into our full down dog. Inhale, grow tall, longer. Exhale, find your base. And then bend the knees. Walk the hands towards the feet. Keeping the knees bent, let's do a nice forward bend here where we take the thumbs into the elbow creases and feel that traction. So the forearms and the hands are just gently using that gravity to let you hang your head down between, well, kind of almost the feet, right? So you've got your knees bent. Release the neck. All of the energy of that trapezius muscles that have to keep your head up all the time. Get a nice release here. Inhale. Maybe you feel the rising of the spine on your inhale, and exhale. Drop the head. Shake the head, yes or no. Beautiful. Now the fingertips find the floor again. Okay, and then nice pressing through those roots. Inhale into a flat back, keeping the knees bent. And then your hands find the hip crease at the thigh there. And in a flat back, protect the lower back, press through the feet as you hinge up to stand. Beautiful. And then come to the base of your mat, bottom of the mat. And we'll just inhale here, just appreciating energy. I'm going to face you guys because the wall's right there. Inhale up, prayer position. Trace that line from above down past our crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. And then drop the thumbs down towards our lower chakras and then come up, down, around again. Inhale, wingspan up. Celebrate the breath. Coming through, down through the center. Inhale up. Exhale one more time. These lovely number 3. We always do things in 3s. So you guys are at the base. I actually think it's better if we're in the center for this. So come to the center of your mat, confidently walk there, and we'll find the edges of the mat outside here. Great. So we're going to take those feet out to a wide stance. Beautiful. And now find your feet just nice and solid on the earth there. Magnetize them together. So notice even energetically, as you magnetize them together, you're going to feel yourself pull into that lovely column of your center, right? So anytime you feel like you're just kind of standing around, not feeling very centered, just energize your feet together. Same thing here. So let's take the feet and we're going to turn the toes out, and we're going to take our victory goddess squat, right? So make sure that your knees align with the toes. Inhale into prayer. Exhale as you bend the knees. In ballet, we're calling a plie. Come on down. Lower your root. Lower your root to the earth. Inhale, let's come up, straighten the legs, look up at your hands, ooh, up at the sky, and then come down through center. And then straighten out. So again, we're all just going down the line of those beautiful, colorful energy centers. Bend the knees. And then hold here when we get to our heart.
hold in the center here. Just feeling that awareness and also feeling the strength of your legs. Keep those quads engaged. Beautiful. And then take the hands to the thighs. And like we did the other day, we're going to take, actually, let's do this. We're going to take the fingertips forward. And so really use that leverage at the top of your thighs to allow the body to lean forward on a diagonal. So you're actually giving yourself some slight traction in your lower back here. Exactly. Keep not too far of a diagonal, just come up a little bit. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't want to strain anything or use too much muscles to lean forward. Just pulling up and feeling ourselves growing up on an inhale. And on an exhale, noticing that traction. Okay, and then come on up, give yourself a little break there. We're going to go into goddess again because we love a goddess. Who doesn't love a goddess? Okay, so inhale, exhale, allow the fingertips to come to the outside of the thighs, and then bend into goddess and take your thumbs on the inside of the thighs. And now we're going to lean forward again, hinging at the hip, keeping that nice alignment of your skull to your sacrum. Inhale, exhale, let's look over to the left and kind of bring the energy of the left shoulder towards the right knee, but you want to make sure the toes and the knees stay aligned. Don't overdo it. Inhale through center, exhale to the other side. So we're looking at the sternum, looking to the left knee or left direction. And one more time through center. I know this is challenging on those quads, which is good in the long run. Back to center. Anything that's too much for you, please modify. Look to the other side. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then straighten the legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive ourselves down into a forward bend. And we're just going to take a flat back here. So our fingertips are going to be on the floor and we're lengthening through the spine. Now take the left hand below the face and then open up into a twist. Take the right hand to your heart. So you're encouraging that twist of the spine open as you keep the pelvis and the root nice and stable. Open up to your left. Follow your breath as you bring the right hand past the heart down to the floor. And we'll inhale the left hand to the heart. Really use that reminder to open up there and then reach to the sky. Exhale down. One more time with your breath. Fingertips find the floor again. Let's reach that back long and in that horizontal. So we're feeling the hinge at the hip and the sits bones pointing back. Get that sense of that long spine, the column, this energetic column, even in front of the spine, reaching that horizontal or diagonal. Take the hands to the top of the thighs like we were before, and let's just press into the thighs inward towards the inner thighs. Okay, and you'll feel that inward rotation of the legs will help you float on an inhale back up to standing. So when you stand and when you take that nice inward rotation of the legs, that can really help your lower back open up. Okay, and now let's heel to ourselves into the center, where we'll do a nice flow with tree pose. So I know we know tree pose as a familiar pose, so it's nice to use it as a way to draw that column of colorful column down the body, right? Through tree. So let's find our mountain pose, feet width apart. Feet are footprints in the sand. Spread the toes, make the perfect footprint. Great. So I'm going to give you two choices of coming into our tree. You can take the knee forward and then out to and lift it and then out to the side in place. Or you can kind of creep up the leg, creep nicely up the leg, just kickstand and then come up. I know we've done tree a lot, so I'm just giving folks that little reminder. We have two ways we've gotten to that, like this, okay? So we can sweep the arms up towards the sky in prayer position, trace the line down to the heart, and notice that stability as you press the hands together. And now let's come into tree. So you can either lift the right leg up and find the side of that left leg, or you can kickstand from below and just stay kickstanded, or just come sliding up the left leg. Energetically, let's connect that foot with the side of the leg and just play with tree here. We'll just do this, but we'll go into a flow in a minute. But if you want to play with this tree with our more just base standing pose, you can wave the arms around, woo, fall out of it on purpose. Okay, let's go to the other side. So take tree, sweep the arms up, down through our prayer, pressing in, really engaging the shoulders, and your technique, whether you want to lift up and over, or whether you want to come up the side of the right leg with your left foot. We want to point that tailbone down, liven up that whole light of the spine. Beautiful. And then release. So what I'm going to suggest is to use your breath, and we're going to flow through tree in a way that's very individual to you and following your breath. So we're going to lift up, get into tree however you do it, come down through center, exhale to mountain. The next inhale brings you into tree on the other side. Woo! And you come down through center. And then down again, bend the knees as you come down. So we'll begin that flow, and I'll talk you for the first one, and then we'll just follow the breath of the following ones. Mountain pose, inhale, arms up. Exhale, as you take prayer position down the center, lift the leg into tree. Use your exhale to trace that line with the thumbs down the body, then back to mountain. Inhale up. Prayer position above that crown chakra, come down, and as you do that, the leg lifts, always hugging into the middle, and then down. So now I'd like you to do 3 to 5 rotations of this, whatever you feel comfortable with. Again, your music is your breath. So let's come into that beautiful breath when you're ready. One more word here. If you want to contemplate a forest or your favorite tree as we do the flow, you can do that. We can all meet in mountain pose at the base of the mat. Just take a little walk down to the base of the mat. Hope you enjoyed our celebration of green light, of just vitality that trees have to give us. Inhale, look up at the sky, swan dive down, forward bend. Hands find the mat, bend the knees if you wish. Come out to down dog. See what this down dog has to say to you. Stretch out long. Maybe the hamstrings are a little looser. Just explore. And maybe the heels come down a little closer to the earth. And let's sweep forward with the knees down to the mat as we make our way down to our floor work. And sweep the legs around, feet on the floor. We'll see if we can steer our little baby boat here. So let's hit those sits bones down and find the mat. Feel free to sit on a little thin blanket here if it's better for your bones. And the feet are hip width apart. Take the hands behind the thighs. So we've got a stability there already, just with that support on the back of the thighs. This leverage will allow you to lighten up the spine and get that nice long alignment, skull to sacrum. Inhale. Notice as you just support yourself at the back of the thighs there, you're able to light it up, right? Inhale, exhale, maybe lean back a little bit and test out that nice navel strength, that Manipura and Svadhisthana, those two yellow and orange lights in the midpoint of the body. If you want to challenge yourself, you can take one leg up, one foot off the ground and the other. So many options to test our strength here. You can take the arms out and just open up that green light of the heart. So you're really opening up the palms to the sky, receiving energy. Something lovely is going to land in your hands. Exhale, you can come back to the back of the thighs and you can see if you can just lift the feet off together and keep those shins parallel to the floor. And as you do the foot lift, make sure that your lower back is not caving in, but you're keeping that nice curve and alignment. I would encourage you to play with this. Since I'm working with a little bit of an injury on my upper back, I'm going to just do something tamer, just holding onto the back of the thighs and noticing as I lean back, at what point those muscles can engage and at which point they're super duper too challenged or I'm straining through my back. So you want to find a nice balance. And if you just do a little baby boat every day, you may you'll build your core strength and you may get to another kind of boat later. Feel free to play with this for a moment. Beautiful. And then we'll take our arms out and we're going to ease ourselves down to the mat, keeping that core strength, curl into the spine, but really notice that point which the body wants to just flop and give up, and see if you can hold that stability a little bit more and ease yourself down to the mat. Exhaling, nice. Cleansing breath. Let's just flop out for a moment. Sigh out, a big sigh. Yay. And now let's take the feet to the floor and we're going to do a supported shoulder stand. So we're going to turn that string of lights of our beautiful spine chakras upside down. So let's take the feet to the floor and we're going to take that block and just keep the feet hip width apart, lift the hips up and place the block at the base of the spine, the sacrum. And if it doesn't feel good, you'll need to move it because it should feel great. And you should feel a sense of kind of the outer part of the pelvis just draping over and just really nice and supported. Take the arms next to the body and roll the shoulders underneath the body. And take the hands to the base of that little block if you can. Just kind of feeling that length of the body, the sternum reaching towards the chin. And then you can take the palms down and we're going to lift both knees up equally, steady, and then straighten one leg and then the other. So we're in a supported shoulder stand. Maybe you want to just adjust yourself a little bit, whatever you need to do to be able to hang out here. So we've taken that energy of the body and we're doing an inversion, right? So while we're not bringing our spine completely upward, and those of you who have lots of experience with yoga and you can do that, feel free to do that. But for our gentle yoga, I don't recommend that. I think the supported shoulder stand is a great way to turn that spine in another direction, but support ourselves along the way. Exhale, send the energy out through the bottoms of the feet up to the sky. And then bring the soles of the feet together, bend the knees and tail them out and butterfly them out to the side. and then up again. So hanging out with our skull lower than the sacrum, it's a nice way to oxygenate all of the energy centers again in another way, bringing blood to the brain, heels towards. So let's just keep repeating this nice gliding through our hips here, from cobbler pose, butterfly, to candlesticks, supported shoulder stand. Again. Great. And reach on up, point the toes, flex the toes, alternately tiptoeing through the sky here. Great. Beautiful. And now I'm going to make sure we have enough time for our strap work. So let's take the knees towards the chest and then allow the feet to float down. Lift up into bridge and then pull that block away. And from this bridge where your knees are lifted, your glutes are engaged, we're going to just snake the spine, each one of those colors from the purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, all the way down to the base of the spine. And just place that on the mat. And then we're going to grab our strap or our, whatever you have, a towel, a leash, whatever it is. And then take the right knee towards the chest. And then take that strap around the ball of the right foot. And we're going to rise up through the right leg. Get a nice hamstring stretch here, our 5-way belt stretch. Inhale. Feel that foot lift, and then exhale, drop into that right hip. Take this to the diagonal. If you have any issues with like herniated discs and such, don't go into deep flexion. We'll just contemplate the back of our leg here, warmth coursing along it, extending that root energy from our pelvis down the leg. And then let's hold the strap and just guide the left heel towards the right heel towards the left hip. If you want to straighten out your left leg along this stretch, you can, or just leave it bent. Drop into that hip. Hamstrings warming, getting attention, buzzing, all the things hamstrings do. And now let's see if we can guide the right foot out. If we hold the strap in the right hand, both sides, and bring that leg out to the side. If you press onto the ball of foot, onto the strap, we're keeping that nice connection there, not just flopping out. Take your left hand to the top of the left thigh. Just press into the thigh so we can really get that grounded energy through the left leg. Come back to that awareness of the spine as we inhale, cascading down to the root. Exhale, back up the string of lights out of the crown of the head. Hang out here. And then bring the right leg up, bend the left knee. And then from here, that lovely release of our hamstring, we can press through the left foot, bridge up, and bring yourselves over onto your left side. Right heel, right foot comes down to the floor, and we can switch the strap into the left hand. And then we can take the right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky. Just open up into a twist here. Drop your arm, nice long wingspan. Just feel the back body energy, accepting the warmth of the earth beneath you. You can even press into your left elbow. See if you can increase your twist. You can see if no force, but to find that back foot, the left foot, bent knee for a thigh stretch. But again, we're just exploring, not forcing ourselves to achieve. Relax your neck, maybe look over your right shoulder. Luxurious twist. Release that foot if you have it with the right hand. Sweep on over, your both hands meet, supporting that right foot. Lift it up again onto the back. And then bend the knee and release that leg along the floor, nice and long. Ooh, still have time for the left. I'm just looking at my time. Inhale the left knee to the chest. And then come on up to a nice long left leg, support. Drop into the left hip, femur into hip socket. A nice oxygenating connection there, that ball in the socket. Yeah, does that release some stuff? And then guide your left heel towards the right hip. Oof. Continue that gravity energy into your left hip here. If you want to straighten out your right leg, it's a good time to do it. And then we'll take that left heel, left foot over to the left, wide open on the left side. Right hand can press on the right thigh and just feel the hips stay nice and even. Breathe in through the crown all the way down to the root. And then exhale, cascade up again. And then let's bend the right knee, bring the foot to the floor, and we'll take that left leg back up. Bridge up, and we'll come over onto the right side. Left foot lands on the floor. You got the pelvis perpendicular to the mat. Just check in on yourself there. Making sure I'm on screen here. Yes, okay. And then take your left hand to that amazing heart. Open up that heart to the sky and the left arm out long. Here you can stay long and luxurious, pressing through your right elbow. Or you can find that right foot with your left hand. Clearing the channels. Left chin looks over left shoulder. I'm not left chin. Chin looks over left shoulder. Twist, just wringing out what we don't need, right? Can gently release your foot if you have hold of it. Bring your palms together again. Ease that foot up to the sky again. Bend the knee. And then take each leg long on the mat, setting yourself up perfectly for a Shavasana. Palms up to the sky, drape the arms next to the body. Shimmy the shoulders underneath you and close the eyes. To do a sweep through the body on your inhale, just noticing maybe there are brighter areas of the body than others. Maybe some feel a little bit less illuminated. So as you inhale, illuminate those places. And exhale, shine them out. Another sweep through the body, just seeing if some of those lights are brighter than others. Along that rainbow, and exhale out, brighten. See if you can shine out in all directions. Got the next inhale, the red root, orange, yellow, to the green heart space, throat, third eye, crown, exhaling it out. Come back to your breath. 2 rotations. On your second rotation of exhale, wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend your knees and your elbows. And rolling over onto your right side away from the heart. Ease yourself up to seated. Beautiful. Inhale the arms out into a really long wingspan and then up to prayer. Trace that beautiful, colorful line down to the heart. For the close of our practice, thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. It's a joy to practice with you. Namaste. Om.